And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Boy, this morning is flying. It has been a busy one for sure. We have wind throughout the area. We've got gusts of 15 to 20, and we've got 30-mile-an-hour gust coming down, 15 to 20 sustained and 30 gusts. That's why we're out of power in so many places this morning. We'll go over power outages before we get into the headlines here in just a few moments, so you're aware of what it is. And I'm sure a lot of you have been asked over and over about how soon. This is county-wide. This is in DeKemper County. This is in Clark County without outages, and power companies are scrambling to get all this back up. We've had volunteer fire departments out all morning long cutting up debris from roads, especially in the eastern side of the county in the Tumsuba area. We've had tons and tons of that. A little bit in the northeast area, but just the further east you get toward Bama, the more we've had. So y'all be careful there going out of Tumsuba area into Alabama on Highway 80. I know they were cutting some more trees out there a few moments ago. So use caution no matter where you go. Drive a little bit slower is all I'm saying this morning, due to the fact of all the issues that we've got going on with this morning. We'll be right back. We're going to get deeper into the power before we go much further. And let's get a good word for the day. Let's go out to Collinsville.
In American culture, naming a child can be somewhat of a process. My youngest daughter and her husband are expecting their third child. Their first two children's names begin with the letter N, so they are trying to settle on a girl name for this new baby that begins with the letter N. It's comical to hear them justify one name over the other. I'm sure they'll settle on a name soon, but that is their process for choosing a name, one that begins with the letter N. Well, my name is Paul, and I was named after my father. That's a common practice that still goes on today. My middle name is David, and my wife and I named our son David. His middle name is Curtis, which is my wife's grandfather's name. My father's parents had 3 boys, and they named them Paul, Silas, and James. They wanted names of men from the Bible. That was their process. Not much consideration is given to the meaning of names given to children in the United States, but every name has a meaning. For instance, the name Paul means small. The name Silas means forest or wood. James comes from the Hebrew name Jacob, which means one who grabs the heel. That has great significance, but we don't have time to talk about it. But in Matthew 1:21, we read where the angel of the Lord said to Joseph in a dream, announcing that Mary would give birth. It says, "She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." Jesus was not just any name chosen out of preference or namesake. No, the name Jesus means Yahweh saves, or the Lord is salvation. Jesus' name would announce what it was that he came to do. Jesus was given his name because he would come to save his people from their sins. This is what Jesus came to do, save. Those who are lost and broken in sin can now be saved from that because Jesus has come. I hope you will consider that today. If you've not yet been saved from your sin, you can have salvation that is found only in Jesus who came to save. He shed his precious blood on the cross in order to pay the price for sin. This is the gift of salvation that Jesus offers us. Receive that gift today and be saved. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. You have to go back over to make all the buttons work right. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome to the show as we begin an early Monday. This will be the last Monday in the year of 2025 as we head toward a new year. Celebrations downtown. We'll be telling you about that this morning. Let's get into what we know is going on this morning. We have power outages. It is better in Lauderdale County. Now, let's start in Winston County and pull this up for you to see this morning. As we look at EMEPA, as we get into Louisville, we've got about 55 people here without power, is what we're showing here. This is going to be west right in this area here, just due north of Highway 25. Let's get a little bit closer in here and see what we can tell about all of this. Right along in there is where we are. That's going to be Hines Road is what we're showing there in that area there. And let's see what we can get a name on this road as well. Clem Kelly Road. If you live in those areas there in Winston County, that's where the most of this is. This is, again, western Winston County without power in that area. That's on the MEPA. We've got roughly about 52 in Kemper County now. That's going to be in eastern Kemper County here. Here's Edendale. This is going to be right there just east of 2 Mile Bottom. So that's what we got right there. Now, as we get into Lauderdale County, as you'll see here, this is scattered. This was a lot more earlier this morning. We probably had 900 without power earlier this morning, but it's coming back up as we'll see most of this. This Tumsuba area is looking better. As you get out here into the southeast area, 21 people. This is going to be just north of Highway 496 on Pleasant Grove Cemetery, right in that area there on Whitaker Road. So we got about 21 people there as we move southward. Let's look here. We got about 10 folks out here, Crescent Lake area, right in that area without power. And we got some over here at the Alamucha side, about 10 people, 3 over here in the Sterling area. And again, right here at the Bama line as we get over in here. Liberty Church Road, about 10 people without power there as we go. And as you'll look at Clark County, not as bad there. About 2 to 3 people, 5 people left there. A couple there in Snell, 1 around Quitman, and then 2 in Chibuta. Now, as we come across and we go to Mississippi Power, we're showing multiple outages here as well. As you'll see here, downtown Meridian area, we've got 2 to 3 people in this area here without 2 there. This is going to be 42nd Street. We've got several right along here on 44th Street. And as we back out, let's go up here to the Topton area. We got several right along in here without power. You're going to have about 20 people. Lost Horse Road, Russell Tompton Road. As we go a little bit, look at all of this around Lauderdale. This is where they were cutting a lot of debris earlier this morning. In this area here. Numerous trees were down on these roads. Lauderdale Road, Campground Road. Look at this. Several in that area there without power there. So keep that in mind. And it's just scattered here. Tumsuba, Lauderdale Road, about 25 people there. So it's going to be some folks that are waking up without being able to use their stoves, get a little breakfast. Be careful there. Now, let's look at this also as we come over here to Newton County and these areas here. Newton, not quite so bad, but as we get over into Scott County and these areas, Collins, Mississippi, look at all this power. Montrose, Jasper County doing without power this morning as well. So it's spread over a lot of places. Keep that in mind. Now, we did have an accident a little bit earlier out in the West Lauderdale area there, where it comes across Center Hill Martin Road to where Richard May Road from the baseball field from West Lauderdale High School comes into Center Hill Martin Road. We have had an accident there. It's been an hour or so. I probably would think that they've got that cleaned up. It did have injuries first reported. We haven't heard back from anybody. They were all tied up with what was going on with the incident. So something to keep in mind there. Let's see here. As we get into headlines, let's go ahead and get into what's going on this morning, and we'll come back to weather to keep you posted. And as always, if you encounter something, we didn't mention the area that you don't have power, please let us know. Paul said the wind is blowing so bad that a tree almost landed on top of their home. Now, I know Tumsuba has been running chainsaws all morning. Not because they wanted to, they had to there. Had some sticking out on power lines, and the MEPA was hustling to get to those areas as well. Over the weekend, one of the legends, she was an absolute stunning beauty, Brigitte Bardot, has passed away. Hard to believe that Brigitte Bardot was 91. I haven't seen pictures of her, probably paid attention since the 70s, but she was a heartthrob back in the day. She has now passed away. How sad that is, but as we look at the headlines there. How do you do it? $400,000 worth of lobster has been stolen. It was headed to Costco. Well, you put someone in a truck and pretend they're the driver of the truck and they drive off with it. That's how it all went down. People are sneaky. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, didn't the truck have a guidance tracker on it? Yeah, but they probably emptied it by the time that they discovered it wasn't the correct driver. Now, I don't do this. A lot of you do, because I've watched a lot of wives try to figure out where their husbands are. The family thing, I forget what it's called, where you can track your spouse's phone or your kid's phone. You know what I'm talking about? The iPhone has that feature in there where you can have your friends and family in there, know exactly where they are. A father, this is good that this was used. His 15-year-old girl was kidnapped in Texas, and he used that to track her down and to save her. A little silver lining there. Proud of that. Let's see here. This is tragedy. Always know where, if you're using a weapon, especially if you're sighting one in, know what's behind the target. You can't just do that anywhere. It's always best to go to a range and sight something in. But an Oklahoma man has been arrested and charged with murder for fatally shooting a neighbor a couple blocks away as he was sighting a gun in, and well, the bullet went hayward. And she's deceased now. That's awful. Sandra Phillips. She was on her front porch. Can you imagine? Now, I don't know how that ends up in court. I've never exactly heard a case quite like that. We were at a car show. I don't know. This was about 3 years ago, north of Collinsville. And some lead hit a vehicle that was there from a range not far away. That did happen. We were there. Have you been paying attention to all this Tim Walz stuff? He's the governor of Minnesota. And like most things, there's going to be sides on each, whether it's Republican or Democrat, going, oh, there's fraud in your state, but this is really shaping up to be something. And there's tons of it. Now, this all started breaking a few weeks ago about fraud in the state, and I didn't pay much attention to it. But a news reporter named Nick Shirley posted this. He's sort of leading the edge on this. 100 million views on his story. Somalians, if I'm saying that right. Somalians, maybe that's the way to say it. Fraud to the up degree, and they're saying that it's all over the U.S. We're listing daycares as businesses and getting government funds, but they were never opened as a daycare. They got video of the whole thing. He went to the place. It doesn't exist, but they are getting tax funds. It is outrageous. It runs deep, and this is only the tip of the iceberg is what they're saying on this. Kash Patel has been putting up information about it. My, oh my. And as I go to, and I'll just show you this. Do you use the word woke? The lieutenant governor of Minnesota, and I'm probably going to say this word wrong, the Jahab, the top, she did an interview and to show that she cares about Somalians. She placed that on, you can find that on Twitter. She did a full interview with that on. You have to remember where you are. This is America. Other people come here. It's okay to keep your values of where you come from. Nothing wrong with that. But while in America, you have to adapt to American ways. It's just doesn't make sense. It's all over the place. You could read these stories anywhere. Quietly, this was scrubbed. Omar, you know the lady that's in Congress that wears the jihad. Her husband's firm quietly scrubbed the names from their website as members of all of this are being investigated for fraud. $30 million firm. They're getting rich. Something's up. I have to respect this guy. Chris Pratt. The Galaxy movies. You know who I'm talking about? This guy is good. He has always publicly said this, and I respect him for this. He said, I am a father of 4. I want to raise my children with the understanding that their dad was unashamed of his faith in Jesus and with a profound understanding of the power of prayer and the grace and the love and the joy that can come from relationship with Jesus. Do y'all realize how few actors would say that? Most would be thrown out of Hollywood and never used again. He has never shied away from saying that he is a follower of Jesus Christ. Guy's good. I like him a lot. What else is going on this morning? Let's get over to some more stories here. Ohio, the governor has signed into law eliminating the grace period for late ballots, which means 2 to 3 days later, they cannot change the election by ballots that showed up past the deadline. It's been a discussion. It's going to be a huge change come the midterms with this. In the past, that has been used, and, well, it would change elections. In New Jersey, 2 helicopters collided. There's video of it. At least one person is deceased as the copters went to the ground. Now, how did they get so close to each other? I'm not sure. Awful, awful. In Kentucky, I guess it was a great disguise. You can't fool a puppy dog, though, when they make that traffic stop. It was all nicely wrapped in Christmas gifts. It was just 55 pounds of meth in Christmas packages. Nothing says I love you like a pound of meth for Christmas, does it? Now, has anybody ever ridden the subways in New York? I hadn't. I've never been to New York. But it's coming to an era, years ago you used to buy tokens to put in the subway to ride it. At least that's what I'm told. And then back in the early 90s, they switched to where you had to buy a card and you would put cash on it to swipe it, to use it to ride a subway. That's going away January 1. You will use either your phone or your credit card to tap to use the subway system. That will probably save them a lot of money as well because they don't have to make cards, keep track. You just swipe and pay. It's the technology, the way of the future as we look at things that are changing. We go to, where is this? I believe this was Missouri. Daniel Mertz, he's 42 years old. He made threatening remarks against the governor. Said he wanted to bring harm to him and his family. They went to his house and brought a pair of handcuffs, and now he's thinking about what he said. Putting something online is the same thing as doing it. The worlds have changed. When all this started, that's just something somebody's typing. It's not looked at that way anymore. So many crimes are solved this way through this, and threats are taken seriously. We go to North Carolina to the Mint Hall Police Department. We have 2 officers that were injured and a suspect that has been taken out. How many times have you driven by and you saw parents exchanging children? It's a thing that's done on Sunday afternoon, late Friday afternoon. Who's got custody and the other gets it. The husband apparently was not happy about his arrangement. Police were called to the scene and he opened fire on the police as they arrived. He will no longer have custody on weekends. Let's see, what do we got here? Alcohol. We see a lot of, and we saw, what was it, last week? Wasn't it last week that we announced that Jim Beam was closing one of their distilleries, their main one, for about a year? There's more reason to this than tariffs. For the first time in history, it looks as though Americans are drinking less. Oh, seriously. As we look at the survey in August, a poll conducted by Gallup found that 54% of adults say they consume alcohol. That's down from 58% a year ago, and in 23, 62% of Americans said they drank. So we've dropped in a 2-year period from 62 to 54% that say they drink. The consumption is falling and falling. No. Has a lot to do with people feeling that it affects their health. It's one of the reasons that are listed on that. There's a lot of people that Technology is going to be what it's going to be. You can't change this. As a matter of fact, this has been used for years upon years upon years, and you just didn't know it. When you walk into a casino, they know who you are. If you walk into a bank, they know who you are. It takes a digital picture of your face and sends it out. It runs it. If there's something wrong, you've got a warrant for you, then, well, the police are called. Automatically does it. The clerk or the cashier behind the place doesn't do it, or the guy at the casino. It just automatically does it. Airports. That's what's coming. Facial recognition. People are freaking out over it. We can't stress enough of how technology, you go to a major city, they know where you are at any given moment. They can track you from red light to red light. Your credit cards track you. Your phone tracks you. This is just another part of it, and which will all one day lead to the end of this, of what we know. But it's a part of it, and if it's used wisely, it's good. It's when the bad guys get a hold of things that they shouldn't. Oh, the government. I know what you were thinking. I'm not sure that this is true. Somebody's always doing a survey, and how often do you hear that eggs are bad for you? The next thing you hear is, well, they're good for you. Coffee's bad for you, and the next one says it's good for you. Who do you believe? I just ignore it and do what you do in small amounts. Just don't overdo yourself in anything. But they claim, this is a claim, that chocolate and coffee takes, well, it stops the aging process. Odie's standing to the side saying it's because it stretches the skin, because you eat so much chocolate, you get bigger. Yeah, it makes you whoof. I don't know about all that. Again, theory after theory, it all depends upon who you believe and what scientists. Japan, this is, I don't know how this got away with this. They're recalling toys. Do you know the little claw thing that you go down? Little toy guns. You can actually fire a bullet from it after they tested it. They're recalling all of them. About 16,000 of them were put into the public. We'll be right back with your weather forecast next as we begin this day. It's all up and coming. Don't rush off.
Fix our
Hey,
problem.
Ben, did you approve this?
What? Tax credit match, double your savings. Who did this? Where did this come from?
Ben, I really love the new promo.
Come with me. Hey. Who do you think you are? Oh, Annie, it's you. Where did this all go out to?
Our whole service area.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need to keep you dry in those wet conditions. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
The record highs and lows back in 21, it was a high of 84 today. Back in 1984, it was 9 degrees this morning. Woof, that was chilly. Here's the outlook for today. 48 is going to be the high. Philadelphia, you should see about 45. And you'll see that as well there in Louisville as you go northward to Columbus Air Force Base, about 44. We get to the state line and we're in the 30s. Iuka, Corinth, about 37 degrees. Down through the Delta, we'll see anywhere from 39 to finally warming up to 49 there in Natchez, and seeing in the 50s on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Not so much here. We're looking right now at 49 as the temperature has been steadily declining from the 60s all night long to where we are at 49. Again, the wind's going to be atrocious today. Tonight, bundle up. Make sure you got your faucets all wrapped up. 25 is our low. We'll see in Meridian 24 through Meridian up to Philadelphia. The temperature drops to about 24, and we'll see that through Winston County, reaching 22 up near Iuka. Now we'll see the 20s down through the Delta as well. 24 at Clarksdale, 29 in Natchez. That's cold. And even at freezing at Gulfport, 32 there. Wow. Let's see what's happening in Bama, 48 in Demopolis, 44 in Birmingham. A little warmer there as we'll see some rain to the eastern side of Bama there. We'll look at radar in a minute. 54 in Montgomery is what we see. Now, you'll see this wind threat. We're at a level 1 in the Meridian area, gusts of 30 to 35 miles an hour. As you get to Vicksburg back into Louisiana, a little bit stronger there, gusts of about 40 miles an hour. Now, as we look at our outlook for today, 47, 48 that high, 25 tonight, 45 tomorrow for our high. We'll get down to 25 tomorrow night also. Then we start seeing that warming trend come back. It's going to be some sick people, isn't it? 56 on Wednesday, 61 on Thursday, and by the weekend we're sitting at 65. Say it ain't so. Doctors' offices will be filled with you. As we look here, here's what we've got when it comes to your temps for the next 2 weeks there. We'll see that 68, getting up to 70 by January the 5th. As we go all the way back down through here, 57, 56. So we'll see anywhere from 70 to 60 over the next couple of weeks after we get past this cold front here. Now, as you go back to look at this, right here as we get into New Year's Eve, 56, good weather, 32 that night. It will be nippy as we welcome in the new year. Thursday morning, rolling in again into the 60s, but cool that night before. Let's get on over here and let's look at our fishing forecast as we welcome in from Parker's Wholesale. Again, that wind's going to be north-northwest, 15 to 20 with gusts of 30 miles an hour today. Major times to fish began at 6 o'clock and will go till about 8 this morning. We'll see another time this afternoon between 1 and 2 to fish there. Sunrise, 6:55, and sunset, 4:58 is what we'll do. Now, as we get into our deer hunting forecast, as we go to Wimberley, again, major times to fish this morning beginning at just a few minutes after 6 through about 8 a.m. You've got another chance this minor from 12:30 to 2:30 this afternoon. Again, that sunrise happening at 6:55 about right now, and we'll see sunset at 4:58. Let's go back quickly and look at radar. We're running out of time here. We have seen showers move across here on Doc's Toyota radar. This line was here about 3 hours ago as it made its way through the Mississippi area. And we do have some showers still in Clark County, southern Lauderdale County. Not much, a little bit of a drizzle there. As we go south into Wayne County, cold weather advisory through 9 a.m. Butler, Alabama, y'all have got this. Pennington, those areas there have got this as well. Collins, Hattiesburg, all through Mobile. Look at that cold. Woof, down to Chattahoochee. That's a quick look at the forecast. We'll be right back again. We're out of time as we'll welcome in the morning show. We got coffee stirring. We hope you'll join us. That begins in about 2 minutes from now as we'll start the morning show.